Daniel Larson was born on November 15, 1998, in Denver, Colorado. He did not have the best childhood growing up, as his early life was unstable and marked by family issues that led to him being removed from his parents' care and raised primarily by his grandmother. He also spent part of his early life at the Tennyson Center for Children, a program that helps children who suffer from neglect and abuse. Over the years, he has claimed to struggle with multiple mental health conditions, including autism and bipolar disorder, factors that would later play a major role in how his life unfolded online. As a teenager, Larson developed an interest in music and performing. He spent time in theater and began to believe that he was meant for something bigger. That belief didn't fade. It followed him into adulthood and eventually pushed him to start posting videos online. In early 2020, Daniel began gaining traction on TikTok, where he posted his songs.
I love it. I want some more of it. Yeah! Ooh, yeah!
By the early 2020s, he was frequently moving between motels, shelters, and living on the street. A large part of this instability came from ongoing conflicts with caretakers and housing programs. He would often be removed due to erratic behavior, outbursts, or disputes with staff. Around this same period, Larson began making one of his most bizarre claims, that he was running for the presidency. He posted multiple videos announcing his campaign, speaking as if he were an official candidate, and sometimes even referring to himself as the current president.
In the year 2024, I'm going to be starting my presidential campaign.
Daniel's growing popularity attracted internet trolls who noticed his behavior and began taking advantage of him. Trolls posed as record label executives, talent managers, security teams, and even entire production companies. They would contact him with fake opportunities, telling him he had a deal, that a song was about to release, or that major industry figures were interested in him. Larson took these interactions completely seriously. He would begin making announcements online, claiming he had signed with a label or that his career was about to take off.
I took the record deal with Universal.
I just joined Interscope Records.
On May 6, 2021, Daniel Larson made one of his most controversial announcements yet, claiming he would be holding auditions for an adult film on TikTok. He told viewers that at 7 p.m., he would go live and present explicit content as part of the process. When he followed through, his account was quickly taken down by the platform. In mid-2022, a man named Ivan, known online as Ox, reached out to Daniel and built a friendship with him. He helped Daniel set up a Twitch account where Daniel began live streaming and collecting donations to support his unstable living situation. About a month later, Ivan set up a $100 donation goal as part of a prank. Once the goal was reached, he replaced a normal news video with a fake nuclear warning broadcast. Daniel believed it was real and began panicking, pacing around his hotel room before going to the front desk to report the emergency. On April 5, 2023, Daniel Larson was followed in public by a troll known as ZockMonkey, who repeatedly bothered him with inappropriate questions. Things escalated when they entered a grocery store, where Daniel attempted to get away and said he was calling the police. Store staff intervened due to the disturbance, while people on a Discord call were encouraging the situation. It eventually turned physical, and a brief altercation broke out, but one of the most widely discussed incidents comes from a short video recorded while he was living in a group home. In the clip, he is seen interacting with a young girl in a bedroom, and the situation raised concern among viewers due to her apparent age and the nature of the interaction. But this wasn't the only controversy surrounding him. Over time, Larson became known for repeated incidents. In late 2020, an online account allegedly connected to Daniel Larson was exposed, containing several disturbing boards, including one featuring images of underage celebrities. The discovery quickly became one of the most serious controversies surrounding him. Following this, Daniel disappeared from the internet for a few months. When he returned in early 2021, he addressed the situation, initially appearing to admit the account was his.
The situation with the Pinterest is that my previous management, since they had all my passwords and everything, they had access to all my, Pinterest, all my social media. And so they did everything behind my back, because at the time I wasn't even on Pinterest, so I didn't even know what was being said behind my back.
Later, he changed his stance, denying any connection and claiming he didn't even know what Pinterest was, which only added more confusion and debate.
Somebody was telling me of some type of social platform called Pinterest. Huh. I wonder what type of printer it uses.
Starting in May 2021, Daniel became fixated on singer Grace VanderWaal, claiming they were collaborating, something that was not true. Over time, his posts grew more intense, including emotional videos where he expressed his love for her and acted as if they had a real relationship. He would comment on her social media and even tell people in public that they were dating.
I'm an upcoming music artist, and there's this singer, her name is Grace VanderWaal. We're gonna actually be currently dating next year. I just got word we're gonna be collaborating, we're gonna be going on tour.
The situation escalated when trolls convinced him that she was seriously ill. Believing it was real, Daniel posted urgent videos trying to contact her family and became increasingly distressed. At one point, he had a public meltdown and made extreme statements while attempting to reach them. Even after realizing the story wasn't true, the obsession did not fully stop. He continued posting about her, often acting as if they were still in a relationship, with ongoing claims of them dating and breaking up. Eventually, Daniel began reaching out to her mother, still convinced he was involved with her daughter. She responded by telling him to stop making those claims and to leave them alone, stating that his behavior was frightening the family. In July 2023, Daniel Larson adopted a German Shepherd named Music, a decision that immediately raised concern due to his unstable living situation and history of struggling to take care of himself. It was later reported that he provided false information during the adoption process, which led to further scrutiny once people online became aware of it. As videos of him with the dog spread, many criticized how he was caring for her, questioning her diet and overall well-being. The situation escalated to the point where people began actively trying to intervene. Eventually, a group tracked him down in public and managed to take Music from him by convincing him they would help care for her. They later shared proof that the dog was safe and planned to return her to proper care. However, his story would not continue the same way. In 2024, Daniel Larson was arrested after posting repeated online threats, including ones directed at government buildings. This time, unlike previous incidents, the situation escalated into a federal case due to the seriousness of those statements. He was taken into custody in Colorado and remained there as the case moved forward. Due to concerns about his mental state, he was also placed under evaluation, and he has not returned to social media since. Chance Wilkins, better known as Cyrax, was born on September 20th, 1990, in Alaska. He entered the world prematurely with severe physical and mental conditions. His early life was unstable. His father went to prison for sexual assault, and his mother was unable to care for him. He was placed with his grandmother, Sally Wilkins, who renamed him Chance. Growing up, he was bullied for his appearance and struggled in school, eventually being held back until the age of 23. At one point, he threw himself off a school balcony during a dare, broke his arm, and was later expelled after calling the police on the peers involved. As an adult, Cyrax lives with Sally and her boyfriend in Akron, Ohio, unemployed and largely isolated. He has a history of violent behavior, including assaulting Sally in 2012, and his unpredictable actions have led to repeated conflicts with neighbors over theft and vandalism. These personal struggles set the stage for the online reputation he would later become known for, as his reputation began to escalate after YouTuber MusicBiz discovered his music videos and learned about his attempts to break into the industry. Marty created two fake record labels, Ram Ranch Records and Bender Boys Records, and staged a fake bidding war for Cyrax's contract. When Bender Boys won, Cyrax celebrated online, but his excitement quickly turned into rage when the label later sold his contract to Ram Ranch.
We had to sell your contract, man.
Wait, what the fuck? Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
No, dude.
We sold it this morning.
What about that shit?
Are you fucking serious right now?
Yeah, the video didn't perform as well as we thought it was going
What
to.
the fuck, dude? Are you fucking serious? I put in all that hard work for nothing? Are you serious right now?
Well, we sold the contract.
The meltdown was widely shared and marked the beginning of Marty becoming his main online rival. As trolls and followers increased, Cyrax's online conflicts began affecting his home life. He frequently shouted at trolls late at night, dragged his caretakers into arguments, and even threatened suicide after Sally suggested she might move out of state without him. Later that month, a troll protested outside his house, accusing him of predatory behavior. Cyrax went outside, swinging a baseball bat, but the protester defended himself and recorded the confrontation. Police arrived shortly after, and Cyrax was arrested for assault before being released the next day by Sally. He later posted videos denying the allegations, claiming trolls had fabricated everything and that his family's safety was at risk, further cementing his reputation for volatile online behavior. In September 2024, police were called to Cyrax's home after reports that he had exposed himself during a live stream. When officers arrived, he appeared emotional and blamed trolls, claiming the incident had happened in the past and was not recent. He asked what he could do, and as before, officers advised him to stay off the internet, something he agreed to but did not follow for long, while his stepfather, Ed, expressed frustration with the ongoing situation. Police returned the next day, after another call reporting a drone attack on the house and their car. Just a few days later, they were called again when more items were dropped onto the property, including a jar containing a photo of Cyrax with an insulting message attached. One of the most serious controversies involving Cyrax came from a sting operation carried out by a troll named Kate, who was part of a predator hunting group. Posing as a young girl, she began communicating with him online. Later, screenshots of their conversations were released and used as evidence to accuse him of inappropriate behavior. The situation was reportedly brought to the attention of law enforcement, but Cyrax denied any wrongdoing, claiming the interactions were taken out of context, and noting that no formal charges resulted. He repeated similar defenses during live streams, insisting that trolls were setting him up for attention. At the end, Cyrax is still online, repeating the same behavior that made him infamous. The arguments and controversies never truly stop, and no matter what happens, he always returns, keeping the cycle going. Nova Online, whose real name is Gabriel Gage, began trying to build an online presence around 2020, spending much of his time focusing on becoming a content creator. From early on, he showed a strong interest in gaining attention and recognition, putting himself out there with the goal of eventually growing an audience. However, despite this ambition, his early efforts lacked consistency and direction. There was little that made him stand out, and his content didn't leave much of an impression on viewers. While he continued posting and trying to gain traction, the attention he was looking for never really came during this period. After struggling to gain attention early on, Gabriel Gage shifted his content towards short-form food reviews, which marked a turning point in his online presence. One of these reviews, centered around Wingstop, gained significantly more attention than anything he had posted before, and quickly became the moment that changed how people saw him. The video brought in views and engagement, giving him his first real taste of recognition, but it also shifted the focus away from the review itself. Instead of the food, viewers began paying attention to his behavior, how he spoke, his mannerisms, and the way he carried himself, turning him into the main point of interest. As his videos spread across platforms, the tone of the attention changed. People began comparing him to the stereotype of a Discord moderator, using the Wingstop clip as the main example. In some of the discussions around Nova Online, people have pointed out that he was active in a certain online community, often referred to as ABDL, which stands for Adult Baby Diaper Lover. Broadly speaking, these communities revolve around adults who engage with themes of regression, comfort, or roleplay that resemble early childhood behaviors. A large part of the controversy around Nova comes from his activity on Discord, where he ran several servers that quickly became known for constant drama. These spaces often attracted attention for the way he interacted with others, with accusations surfacing about inappropriate conversations and roleplay scenarios that cross normal boundaries. As these situations spread, servers were frequently deleted or rebranded, but the same issues seemed to follow each time they resurfaced. Some of the more serious claims involved allegations of grooming and age-related roleplay, which many people online pointed to as part of a larger pattern in his behavior.
Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky, twinkle, twinkle, will star, how I wonder what
You did so great.
Aww,
you're singing.
These accusations were widely discussed and shared, especially as more screenshots and stories circulated. Nova denied the claims and maintained that people were misrepresenting him, even going on a live stream on TikTok where he attempted to defend himself in a highly emotional and extreme way.
Photoshopped. It's been proven. You're in timeout for like 5 minutes. Then I'll turn back on speaking privileges. Maybe. Now you better effing behave. You guys need to get a job instead of wasting your on small TikTokers. Those are clearly effing photoshopped. And if I can, I'll get my effing lawyers into this.
However, many viewers remained skeptical, especially given his tendency to overshare unusual and personal details. Nova has had a long list of controversies tied to his name, so many that covering all of them would make the video extremely long. Because of that, there are plans to cover his full story separately in a video of its own, but one of his more recent controversies came after explicit content linked to him was leaked. The clip came from an account he created on an adult website under the handle Spicy Novine Uni, even labeled as a verified model. The video showed him engaging in explicit, fetish-style content involving an electronic device typically marketed to women. Nova didn't make much effort to hide the content. The account's username still clearly tied back to him. His profile picture was essentially a slightly altered version of his normal TikTok photo, which he used across platforms. In the video itself, his voice was completely recognizable. All of this made it feel less like private content and more like something he expected people would eventually discover. At the end, Nova Online never really stopped. He is still posting, keeps chasing attention, and continues putting himself out there for anyone to watch. Because of that, he became known as one of the most infamous lolcows on the internet.